Hello friends, to my pioneer family watching behind screens all over the world. Today I do not want to sit behind a desk. I want to stand here, face the camera, and meet the gaze of every single one of you. Recently, the atmosphere in our community has been heavy. I spend time every day reading your private messages and comments. I have seen the harsh words, the accusations, and even the curses. How much longer do you want to drag this out? You are doing nothing on purpose. You are starving us out. You sit in your Silicon Valley offices, drinking coffee, not caring if we live or die. To be honest, reading these words hurts me as a human being. But as a co-founder of Pi Network, what I feel more is a massive, heavy responsibility that is difficult to explain in a few words. Today, I will not talk about grand visions or paint pretty pictures. I want to have a heart-to-heart conversation about these three sharpest accusations: inaction, delay, and indifference. Many of you feel we are doing nothing because the app interface hasn't changed much, or because the instant wealth you expected hasn't happened overnight. But please, think for a moment, what is true action? Is it like those meme coin projects, tweeting every day, pumping the price, manufacturing anxiety, and then rug pulling 3 months later? That is performance, not action. In the places you cannot see, our team works 16 hours a day. What are we doing? While you sleep, we are maintaining the world's most widely distributed network of over 100,000 nodes, defending against millions of hacker attacks every second. As long as the network doesn't go down for a second, that is us taking action. When you complain that KYC is slow, our engineers are training AI to recognize thousands of blurry ID types, just to improve the pass rate by even 1%, to ensure we don't miss a single real human. We test algorithms repeatedly. This boring, tedious work is us taking action. When you feel the ecosystem is quiet, our business team is negotiating with global legal institutions to allow Pi to access the real economy compliantly, so that Pi isn't banned by regulators. In one stroke, this silent battle is us taking action. Building a straw hut takes 3 days. That is the fast you can see. But we are digging the foundation for a skyscraper. The foundation is underground. You cannot see it. But that does not mean we are not working. Regarding the word delay, it stings. We prefer to call it strategic patience in a restless world. If we wanted to be fast, 3 years ago we could have issued a simple token, listed on a few exchanges, and dumped the chips on you. How fast that would have been. But the result, the Pi of today, would be like thousands of dead coins, a string of worthless code. Early miners would sell, latecomers would be trapped, and nothing would remain but debris. If that is the fast you want, I am sorry. We cannot give that to you. The reason we seem to be dragging is that we chose the hardest path. We insisted on taking no venture capital VC money, so we have no funds to manipulate the market. We can only build organic value step by step. We insisted on getting 19 million people through KYC, not just a few thousand elites. This is objectively the most massive engineering feat in human history, and it simply takes time. We are trading time for space, time for consensus, and time for security. We would rather be scolded by you for being slow today than be cursed by history for being scams tomorrow. Now, I want to pivot from emotion to logic. I want to answer a question asked countless times over the last 6 years from a technical and industry benchmarking perspective. Relative to the entire crypto space, is Pi Network's development cycle, this 6-year span, actually slow? If we look at CoinMarketCap, the average cycle from white paper to token generation is 18 months. Ethereum took 1.5 years. Solana took 3 years. Meme coins take 3 minutes. In contrast, Pi took nearly 7 years to reach the fully open mainnet. In the industry speed coordinate system, we are not just slow, we are moving at a geological pace. But, as a computational social scientist, I invite you to look past the surface and examine the underlying protocol design. You will find that this slowness is not due to poor execution, but is the entropy reduction cost we must pay to solve the decentralization dimension of the blockchain trilemma. Why is the industry standard so fast? Because most projects are essentially issuing assets. They deploy a smart contract on an existing virtual machine. Their path is funding, listing, finding users. Pi Network's path is building a trust graph, finding users, reaching consensus, launching mainnet. We are not deploying a contract. We are building an independent layer, one blockchain, based on the SCP Stellar Consensus Protocol. More critically, we are attempting to introduce a variable never before seen in the consensus layer, the identity layer. In traditional POW proof of work, Bitcoin uses electricity as a barrier to defend against Sybil attacks. In POS proof of stake, Ethereum uses capital as a barrier. Pi attempts to achieve a more inclusive consensus through SCP plus a social trust graph. To defend against Sybil attacks, we cannot rely on computing power, nor can we rely on staking money. We must rely on proof of personhood. This is why we must be slow. Getting 19 million people on-chain cryptographically is easy. I can generate 19 million public keys in seconds. But to use ZK-Key zero-knowledge Kaichi technology, combined with AI liveness detection to verify the biological uniqueness behind those 19 million nodes, that is a massive social engineering project. We spent 6 years essentially cleaning the entropy from the network. We purged scripts. We purged bots. We purged fake entities behind multisigs. If we had rushed to launch in 2021, Pi network would have been instantly drowned by server farms, and our decentralized governance would have failed completely. I admit, this slowness has incurred technical debt. We missed the DeFi summer of 2021, but please look at the infrastructure moat we bought with this slowness. Robustness of node topology. Bitcoin has about 15,000 full nodes. Pi has over 100,000 active nodes. This physical distribution makes our censorship resistance military grade. Compliance interface. Today, in 2025, as regulations like the travel rule tighten globally, Pi is the only major public chain with a native identity layer that can seamlessly integrate with AML anti-money laundering regulations. What looked like a burden 6 years ago is today our only ticket to mass adoption. Gini coefficient, because the distribution lasted 6 years. Pi's on-chain holding distribution is the most decentralized of any major chain. No VC holds 20% of the early chips. This is true decentralization. If we compare blockchains to vehicles, Solana is a Ferrari. It pursues extreme speed and performance, but it crashes easily. Ethereum is a heavy truck. It carries massive financial blocks, but it is congested and expensive. Pi network, which we spent 6 years building, is a massive railway network. We spent an unimaginable amount of time laying the tracks, Kai-C. It was slow, agonizingly slow. But please note, once the tracks are laid, the user density this train can carry is something a Ferrari can never match. We are not building a casino for high-frequency trading. We are building a digital public utility for global peer-to-peer value transfer. In the crypto industry, fast usually means the rapid gathering and bursting of bubbles. Slow, in the context of Pi, means the sedimentation of consensus and the solidification of network effects. We are not running away. We are not lying flat. Nicholas and I are still here, just like 6 years ago in that small lab at Stanford, shoveling coal in the boiler room of this massive system. Keeping it moving, we are inactive because we are doing something massive. We are dragging because we are walking a long road. Please, do not let go of your hand in this dark moment before the dawn. As long as the people are here and the consensus is here, Pi is here. As an engineer, I am proud of this slowness, because we did not choose to build a castle on the sand. We spent 6 years drilling through the rock. Thank you.